Step overs and the strike. What a hit. Opening goal for Jamaica. The Reggae Boys take the lead in this third place match.
So Jamaica has finished third in the CONCACAF Nations League, and these players have done fairly well and needs to be applauded for their effort. However, it is already known that Jamaica has been in search for players who are of Jamaican descent, who are quality, that can add an upgrade to the team in the respective areas. Name like Gibbs White, Mason Greenwood, Jacob Ramsey, or even Henry, right? The thing is, these names are on the list. But how about speaking about a player that is already in the Jamaica system and has been performing above expectation? Today on Premier 7, I want to take a closer look as it relates to Dexter Lembikisa, the future right back for Jamaica. Nothing feels better than to be supporting a team that performs and deliver when all matters. Of how good or bad our team is performing. Without any question in mind, I am quite happy to express that Jamaica is going forward. And despite our challenges with our administration, we have some players who commit and dedicate their time in supporting or playing for the nation because they want to put the country on a different level. And today I want to visit Mr. Dexter Lembikisa, the future right back for Jamaica. The future right back, of course, because of his consistent performances for the national team, and his turn up is always commendable. Yes, this video is not because he scored that wondrous goal against Panama. The video is just to have a closer look and to assess the player because where players deserve to receive credit, then Premier 7 doesn't work with bias, right? So while I'm here, I have to give you thanks to fans and supporters of the channel. I have 1,294 subscribers, and I would love to see the improvements on the page continues. So continue to watch, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. All right? Because with that, it is highly appreciated while I continue to deliver for you, the people. All right. So in that case, back to base. Dexter Lembikisa, the future right back for Jamaica. Let's look or let's speak about Dexter Lembikisa by way of an assessment from observation. When you see Lembikisa playing the game, what comes to mind? Which football player comes to mind? I think I would say how he plays, it is somewhat hard to choose a type of player who he plays similarly to, but based on his attributes that he possesses in terms of going forward, he is uncomparable, and that makes him different. Watching Lembikisa with the naked eyes, we can see that he's very energetic, he's collective, he's disciplined, he's strong, and he's willing to deliver for the team. In that case, we saw where Lembikisa can even play in the midfield. But did you know that Lembikisa is, I won't say a right back because we all know he's a right back. But there's something else about Lembikisa that some of us wouldn't have known. Did you know that he can play defensive midfield? Did you know that? I don't think you all recall that. But based on research, the player have that potential and that capability of doing so. So how about moving on from this topic by way of this small observation and dive into his player profile and statistics. And in that case, before I do so, don't you want to see that goal again? Let's have a look.
Step overs and the strike. What a hit. Opening goal for Jamaica. The Reggae Boys take the lead in this third place match.
So we have to give thanks for that goal by Lembikisa as we continue to move forward in gaining more recognition on the global stage. All right, so looking on Lembikisa's profile, he is currently 20 years of age, which shows us something that we will applaud because for a 20-year-old to be performing with such high speed and agility and defensive capabilities, it is something that we have to consider and want for this player to be wrapped up in the right form of materials and to be free from injury because I don't see him as an injury prone player and we have to make sure that he's currently being assessed properly in the rightful manner. So with that being said, moving forward, so far he's playing for Hearts in the Scottish Premier League and he's a player that is on loan though because his original team in the Premier League is Wolves, but he moved from Wolves to Rotherham United on loan where he played 25 games and now he's at Hearts, right? So we're seeing whereas Lembikisa is moving to and from different clubs, but we are seeing that he can deliver not only from a club's perspective, but also from the international perspective because not all players can deliver on both stages. So the surprise was Lembikisa can also play as a defensive midfielder, but we all know that Lembikisa is mainly known for a right back, but he also can play at left back. But based on Jamaica's formation, the 3-4-3 in recent games, including the game against Panama yesterday, he played as a right midfield. He played ahead of Deshaun Bernard, and he was absolutely amazing on the pitch. And we have to applaud Lembikisa for his relentless effort and his continuity in being consistent. So far, Lembikisa is impressive, and we want for him to continue on the good path because so far for his team in the Premiership in Scotland, 7 games, 1 goal, 1 yellow card, but his starting 11 isn't bad in terms of percentage, 67%, 65 minutes in terms of percentage, and 7% goal participation. Based on what you're seeing here in the 60s range, it shows that Lembikisa can play more than just a hour. And that shows that he's a tank. 20 years old who is covering more than just 50 minutes or 60 minutes. It proves that this guy have the capabilities of even playing more because to play right back, it takes a lot of work because you have to be going up and down, and it takes a lot of work and energy. And Lembikisa possesses those attributes. Further apart from that, I just want to move forward into speaking about the profile statistically for the player. Because even though he is playing not bad for Jamaica, there's areas for which we believe that he has to work on his game. But a little talk on the national team. Lembikisa has played 16 times for Jamaica. That is a lot compared to other players at age 20. And he scored one goal, he made one assist, two yellow cards. Not a bad profile for Lembikisa. That shows that this player is one for the future. Could he be a future captain or just a player who is a leader? Then again, watching Lembikisa, I don't know much about him in terms of speaking wise, but because of how he's exposed to the different environment, then I expect that he is that player who will be consistent in terms of being in interviews and have that confidence to not run away from questions, but to answer in the best way in a professional manner. All right, so definitely Lembikisa is that player who I mentioned is exposed, and he's absolutely a professional that Jamaican would be impressed to speak about and can trust to represent the country whenever it's called upon to do so. Mistakes are in players, but for Lembikisa, there's room for growth, and there is the expectation or the belief that this youngster, who is even younger than myself here, can do amazing things for the country. Because that goal, no one thought that Lembikisa would have scored. Because when I was doing the build up, like the predicted lineup for the team, I know that he would have played in the midfield area. But to score a goal, that was far from my thought because I was comparing him to Wan-Bissaka in regards to having that dynamics in terms of going forward, but not to be crossing ball to make assists. But his defensive capabilities is one that most persons would express as his strong point. But that goal was amazing because he's right footed, and to score that beautiful goal with the left foot shows that he can be a midfielder who can score with any foot. And it proves futuristically that he can be inverted because that is the modern days. You look at John Stone playing as an inverted midfielder, just like even a Diego Dalot, just like a yes, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is playing as an inverted midfielder. Lembikisa playing that role yesterday because that is how he scored a goal, pressing high up the pitch, making his runs correctly. It is absolutely something for which Jamaicans will applaud him for. And to take up such role by the instruction of Coach Al Grimson, I know that he will be one of those first person on the team sheet that the coach will always call upon to represent. So back to the areas now where it is concerned with his statistics, but I want to speak directly in regards to his ratings and his strengths and his weaknesses. All right. So Lembikisa, as you can see here, 6.1, 6.47. So if he's playing in the back line, he's more so better from the right hand side. But right here, where he play as a right midfielder, it is the strongest point for Lembikisa. So whenever Coach Al Grimson wants to play that back three with four in the midfield and three up front, then Lembikisa is working on to owning that position. And is absolutely a tick for the coach to turn up and represent with the expectation of doing something that persons will expect. The performance will not drop too low, but more so it should be steady, or it will be steady, consistent, and keep on the rise. So the strength of Mr. Lembikisa is that his tackling is good because based on the naked eye and observation, he is that person who doesn't miss a lot of tackles. He will slide in, he will commit himself just like a Deshaun Bernard, just like a Damian Lowe. He's that type of player. But his weakness where it is concerned is that of holding onto the ball. He's very weak in that case. Passing the ball is weak, and aerial duels. So if he's not going to be prolific in regards to aerial duels, he has to work on his passes because the passes is important. We don't want to have the long balls playing at all times from the back line from a Hector or from a Bernard, or if low drops back, you have to be passing the ball very long. Teams that plays the ball on the ground with position football, or let's say tiki-taka, or let's say good composure on the pitch, are teams that will be hard to defeat. He's already known for having that energy in the tank, so he just have to learn the game by way of getting more experience, and he will have that ability to play the ball on the ground in the rightful manner. So his passes range will improve phenomenally. All right, so holding on to the ball once you're playing defense or in that important position in terms of the midfield, then you have to have the capability of holding onto the ball properly. But as I've said before, Lembikisa, based on my observation and my personal belief, he will get better. He will not master everything just like that, but if he can master some of the basic foundation of a right back or a right midfielder, then he will be that leader that Jamaica will rely on for many, many years to come. So, of course, Dexter Lembikisa's style of play, he plays the ball on the ground off the ball. Let me reiterate, he plays the ball off the ground often. So it's more like a long ball type of player. We don't want that much of a loop. If you're going to loop the ball, I would prefer for it to be going to one of the frontline players who can then deliver a ball in the box for a striker to score. Or if you're going to go down by hanging on the touchline, I want for it to whip the ball in for the striker to have that golden opportunity. But otherwise from that, the long ball is not Jamaica type of football, or it should not be Jamaica type of football, because Jamaica has expressed themselves playing that type of boring football for many times, for many years, but that needs to cut out. All right. And also, he likes to play long ball, as what I was saying. Those things has to cut out, because then again, we don't have that striker who is that quick or who will be able to break down any defensive line. And defenders are keeping their line high. For example, if you look on Liverpool or Man City, they keep a higher line. So whenever the ball is looped over the top, then the back line, the two main centre backs will just leave you offside. And that will give them the ability to keep the ball at a higher pitch or on the higher level of the pitch to break down your team and to score goals. All right, so what do you think about Lembikisa though, in regards to the topic presented? As in Lembikisa, the future right back for Jamaica. He is that player who has been playing many games, but will he remain consistent? Will injuries prevent him from being that dominant force that Jamaica will always want? But so far, so good. He's that type of player that Jamaica is looking forward to keep utilizing, playing for the country on a regular basis. And in that case, I believe that if he continues on that good path, he will do wonders for the nation. So as you can see, I would love to gain at least 6 more subscribers to reach to 1,300 subscribers. That will do a lot of good for me. And in that case, I will continue, of course, to deliver for you, the people. So take care and goodbye, and share your thoughts on this topic.